Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe to my channel. Budget is a pool of finances in view of pay and costs to ideally satisfy the necessities and wants, so make sure to watch the full video. Budget is a pool of finances in view of pay and costs to ideally satisfy the necessities and wants. All cherish it due to its capacity to provide purchasing power. At any cost, a failing budget is undesirable. We all put in a lot of effort to acquire every penny. The majority of our plans are based on our resources and income. As a result, trying to make the most of the budget idea in order to get what we need and want. Therefore, when we are unable to meet the budget, it also annoys us the most. Everybody experiences it once in a while. Consequently, bombing financial plan is a seriously far and wide peculiarity all over the planet. Every individual has a spending plan at each phase of life, wherein they get a feeling of the world. A new car, house, trip, or fashion budget is set aside for working people, while a budget for a new phone is set aside for young adults, teens, and children. Everybody has a budget to meet the particular requirements of the particular circumstances. As a result, budgeting becomes essential to getting the most out of your money. The idea of a budget is used informally or indirectly by almost everyone. Additionally, very few people correctly apply it to their lives. Each of us has goals. A few of us need to claim property or have their fantasy wedding. Certain individuals could try and need to get together their lives and travel the world. Despite the fact that each of our objectives is unique, funding is frequently required. Fortunately, there are loads of dependable, idiot-proof strategies for accomplishing them. In this article, we'll tell you the best way to make a spending plan to ensure you remain focused with your reserve funds in only 5 stages. What is a budget? For what reason does it come up short? According to Financial Matters, spending plan is a piece of monetary and monetary preparation, which shows an expected proportion of income and consumption for a future period. To create an optimal shopping basket. We all create such a fund for a specific purpose. We all create budgets. At some point, we all fail to keep them. Now, when and how frequently such point appears varies from person to person. 1. Imagine opening a pickle jar in the wrong way. Sometimes we try really hard to open the lid. It fails to open. If we are still unable to open it, you should try a few more times. Then you look on the lid and acknowledge we are doing it incorrectly. This analogy may be applicable to budgeting. For almost everything, we have a budget. The reasons for and ways to use a budget vary depending on the needs and wants of the individual. We had a spending plan to purchase our toys, contraptions, vehicles, house, clothing, instruction, clinical, getaways, and so on. Like the pickle bar so frequently, we may be approaching the budget in the wrong way. This indicates that we are misusing the budget idea. That does not imply that we are incapable of doing so. It could be just about our psyche is involved in one more thought thus, not focusing while at the same time getting it done, very much like during the instance of a pickle container. Additionally, ignorance may be to blame for the second issue. All things considered, monetary education isn't among the top picks of the new friendly developments. Finance and budgeting, having a better understanding of our own perspectives on budgeting, is extremely helpful in creating the budget itself. It gives an unmistakable vision. We are able to comprehend the reason behind this question, which is crucial to comprehending the resources required to satisfy our desires and needs. How did it happen? This question first asks what precautions and measures should be taken to achieve the goal. Second, how much money and resources are required to satisfy each individual's desires and needs. Even though there isn't a right way to budget for everyone, a self-assessment can be done based on what each person wants and needs. To gain a better understanding of budgeting, seek professional assistance. 2. Life can be hectic. The devil is in the details. There might not be enough time to eat, let alone budget. Even though we plan our days, it's unlikely that many things will be missed. The consequences of missing out on income and expenses in the calculation will be significant. Commonly in a day, we neglect to keep in tap with a few of our costs. The amount of such fargo could be faltering during charging. It is essential to periodically monitor trends in spending and income. It demonstrates the financial situation and provides a space for evaluating a specific frame's needs and desires. Such unsuccessful assessment is to blame for those instances of overspending. We are indeed poor if our wealth commands us. A straightforward financial self-evaluation will demonstrate how easily we can afford to pay for the majority of our expenses. These expenses are not simply day-to-day, clinical, lodging, help to a companion, and a lot more things. Think about it like, since winter is 3 months away, you want to purchase winter attire. If you buy it now, you'll get a discount. If you wait, you might get less or no discount at all. On the off chance that you purchase presently, be certain you will buy later on. The deal could help you save a lot of money. On-the-spot and emergency expenses fall into this category, which post-thought is easily more affordable than a prior thought. Get a clear understanding of these costs, including which ones may or may not occur. The income and funds required at the budgeting base are provided by planning finances in light of these costs. With cash likewise comes the sensation of being definitive, being able to get things done. It is a pleasure for all of us to have this sense of control. Additionally, it prevents us from being aware of our expenses, which ultimately costs us a lot. Many payments are made on the assumption that they will be affordable. The issue is not whether or not the expenditure is reasonable. It is about whether or not it should be made. 3. Budgeting according to the circumstances. It can also be applied to a person's finances. The majority of people want constant certainty in financial and economic flows. But this hasn't been the case, and it won't be in the future. Gas, fuel, and food prices fluctuate quite frequently. That being said, for needs, the expense of satisfying your needs/wants also has seen a relating augmentation. As a result, you won't be able to maintain your previous budget. If you don't change it as needed, you could fail. It's best to do so. If you restrict your budget too much, you will set yourself up for failure. If you don't give yourself enough money to have some fun or spend time with your family, you'll be frustrated and disappointed in yourself. If you don't pay for the things you need because they aren't in your budget will fail. You can't save money unless you make a big budget. Consumptions, in any case, you might overspend assuming you set extremely high individual monetary necessities. Budgeting can help you save money, but be ready for small changes like price increases at grocery stores and sales. In any case, what to do is expanding your pay levels or types of revenue. We can't continue to spend the same amount forever. Ceteris paribus simply don't exist. It would be simple to incur expenses if revenue levels were higher. Additionally, the remaining portion permits some investment and planning. 4. Making a strong backup stash. Having a backup stash is the passage during a monetary crunch. Emergencies occur without notice. At least, that's why people know about them. Monetary crunches could seem as a result of simply financial worries, as well as because of a few different parts of human existence. Several factors, including unemployment, housing, healthcare, and education, could cause an emergency financial crisis. Start putting some of your income into savings for an emergency fund. At first, one single asset could be made. However, put some effort into creating a number of emergency funds for specific causes. It will be gainful for development as it will give liquidity because of the stock of assets. They could also be quickly and easily replaced with frozen ones, which are a solid emergency fund that both shows possibilities and demonstrates certainty. There are a lot of tools that can be used to create these funds. Despite their significant importance, nonetheless, they are not the only factor. With the temporary purchasing power provided by borrowing, such funds could be appropriately created using the concept of deficit financing. The portfolio could be strengthened in a number of other ways to guarantee the emergency fund. 5. Set up an audit. An audit is like a deliberate intervention in a person's financial life. A regular audit makes it easier to accurately assess a person's financial situation. They give exhaustively the example of streams in pay and expenses. It might come in handy when figuring out the assets and liabilities, and how should they be arranged to get the best return on investment. Personal audits also help people learn about their financial and economic actions and habits, which they can change depending on the outcome they want investment. It also aids in a more accurate mapping of all assets and liabilities, preserving equilibrium between them, and determining whether or not the financial plans and objectives are realizable. So that's it for today. We hope you enjoyed the video. Use the comments section below to tell us your thoughts about the video. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to be notified of all the latest videos.